frog fishing and feeding Mr. Wilson.
What's up, everybody? We are back, and were we here last week? We were here last week.
Last week.
We were here last week.
I think.
No, we were here last week because we talked about doing frogs.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
In December.
In December. Perfect. Yeah, because I remember we got into a little dispute about that. Like, why are we talking about frogs in December? Good guys in Florida probably catch them on frogs
exactly.
right now.
If not, they're getting close. But see, the thing about it is, if we talk about frog fishing now, it gives the viewers time to ask their significant others, I would like this for Christmas.
Good thought.
Exactly.
Good thought. You still got time to order frogs for that special fisherman or fisherwoman in your family.
Exactly.
So, all right, we want to feed Wilson to start off. We want to let
let's start.
We don't have 100.
Are we ready, Jeff?
We got 90. We got 100 viewers. Let's get a few more viewers because people get upset when they don't get to see Wilson eat. So.
Yeah, because it's going to be a massacre. Because unlike last week where we had 2 miniature crawfish, this week we've got a large quantity of food.
I got a tip from a buddy of mine, Buddy Black. He said, I messed up last week. I dropped the crawfish in there, and he went down about halfway down the water column, and he got to eat.
Yeah.
I dropped another one in there, same thing happened. Right. He said, why didn't you just drop either? Because I got mad at myself because I'm
one
like,
on
that
each
sucked.
end.
He said, why didn't you just drop one on each end? I said, if I'd have done that, I bet you he'd have still eaten both of them before he hit the bottom.
Probably. But it would at least been cooler.
So how many fish we have tonight? Goldfish? Am I allowed to say goldfish?
Yes, you're allowed to say goldfish.
Okay, how many goldfish we got tonight, Jeff? How many did you buy?
What's that?
How many goldfish we got tonight?
64.
For real?
For real.
We got 64
because they're pretty little.
They're tiny. Yes,
64
tiny.
Goldfish.
Evidently, the pet shop that sells feeder food for Mr. Wilson is having trouble getting anything of any substance.
All right.
It goes up and down. It fluctuates.
Kevin Clark said, hold on just a second. He's still cooking his steaks. But we have several people.
If you're cooking a steak,
it's kind of like you and Matt's tournament
fish. It's already done.
Take it off. There's some, you catch some big ones, and Matt brings in, you know what I'm saying.
Hey, feeder mice. Savage Adam reminded me of something.
He had like he didn't even hear that.
I don't. I just tuned you out. Brian does me the same way. You. So I tuned Jeff out. Brian
when I read
Matt
the feed,
out.
I miss everything.
Was that about me or Brian?
Both.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's a good thing. We both
missed it.
Well, maybe that's what it is. We both tune you out. Brian tunes me out. We both tune you out.
I get it.
It works. Whatever works. So Adam thought y'all were doing feeder mice.
That would be good to get some feeder mice.
We're going to do
it's
that.
It's going to be hard to get to shot because he's going to eat it off top. But we'll figure it out.
That's going to be that's either going to fall under 2 categories. It's either going to fall under our new membership site that's going to be launching in 2019, or the group. We can't just let everybody see the feeder mice. I mean, that's because it's way too cool.
That doesn't matter. That's what we do.
All they got to do is join our group. It's free.
Okay, that's true.
See? You got to think outside the box a little bit, Brian. All right,
so I'm just here to talk about fish. That's my sole purpose.
And we're up to what are we up to? 1,400 members in the group now, in the closed group, Jeff?
Yeah, a little over 1,300.
A little over 1,300.
So we appreciate that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so we're going to do feeder mice. And I know I think Adam's a part of that group. So, Adam, you'll definitely get to see the feeder mice. But where can we find feeder mice? Anybody know where we can find feeder mice in Shelby?
Pretty much any pet store, Walmart, PetSmart, Fins and Critters.
Probably
snakes. Where I'll get them from.
Fins and Critters?
Yeah.
Fins and Critters is like our bait sponsor.
Absolutely.
They got weak crawfish, but everything else is pretty good.
Not when they got the ninjas, though. All right, so everybody said let's feed Wilson. We're up to 125, so you want to go ahead and feed him?
Just so everybody knows, we do have our first studio audience, and that's pretty awesome.
We got a live audience.
We got a live audience in the studio.
It's the first time ever.
We don't need to show them.
I'm nervous.
Show them that we have a live studio audience.
I'm nervous.
We're not going to let him on the mic.
I'm nervous.
Just starting to sweat over there.
I'm a little nervous too.
All right. We do have a live studio audience. You might hear him giggle a little bit in the background, but if you do, that's what that is. All right, let's feed him, dude. Let's do it. You got the iPad.
We're going with it. Let's go.
Yeah, it's right there.
All right.
So,
Can you hold the iPad long enough while Wilson eats the fish?
dude, this bag of water weighs like 50 pounds. Here's what I don't want to
50
happen.
pounds.
Hopefully, it's not more water
Maybe
that
you
can
need
hold
to
in
pour
that tank.
some water out. Pour some water in the sink so you don't overflow the
I
tank.
handle this.
All right, Matt's going to work on getting the fish ready because we've got like a gallon.
Oh my God.
It's like 3 gallons of water in there.
Famous last words. I'll handle this.
Oh my goodness, this is going to be awesome. We've actually got 64 goldfish tonight, so it's probably going to take him at least 15 to 20 seconds to eat them all.
It's taking a little longer, but it's
It'll
not
be
going
a
to be much.
little more entertaining than the crawfish were last week.
Feed the monster, says Michael.
Yes, we're about to feed the monster, and he looks hungry. When's the last time you fed him, Jeff? Jeff's not listening.
What's that?
When's the last time you fed Mr. Wilson?
I'm trying not to
3 days.
3 days. So he eats
Something
every
like that.
3 days?
Yeah. Saturday.
Yeah. Got you. That's good. So I'll give you a little preview of the frog. Yeah, you can.
Just poke a hole in the bottom of the bag with
While
a
Matt's
fork.
trying to figure this out, I'm probably going to have to go do it for him. But anyways, this is a little preview of
He
the
almost
frog
did it.
selection. Look at
He
here.
almost did it.
Look
Are
at
you
that.
doing that? How are you going to get over here without leaking
We got
water?
Oh
That
my
was a
God.
joke. Oh my gosh, you can't tell an Arey nothing.
This is getting bad, y'all.
I'm draining water, Brian. Take over for a minute. What did you do?
Poked
Oh
a
my
hole
God.
in the bottom of the bag. He actually listened.
All you got to do is turn it the other way.
All you have to do is
Untied the top.
all you have to do something is tell him something real fast and he'll do it without thinking.
I'm like a bass after a rattle trap.
Matt just thinks or just does. He doesn't think. Just do it. He's an American. That's the American way. Just
Kevin
do
Clark, hold my beer. That's exactly Kevin. Exactly.
All right, we're coming, y'all.
That's when you know something really good's getting ready to happen.
it. Maybe we should take the hooks out of one of the frogs. He'd probably swallow it though, wouldn't he?
Yes.
Yeah,
What's
he
up,
would.
John? We're not trying to kill you. We're just trying to get Matt to get this bag of fish ready.
If y'all could see this debacle Matt's got going on in the sink over here,
I don't have a debacle.
I feel like I'm gonna need an umbrella when you carry them back to the.
Probably whole camera right by you.
All right, man the iPad, Jeff. We're ready.
Look, it stopped leaking when I picked it up. You see that?
Just
How much water did you let out of it? A half an inch?
Man, at least.
Oh my God,
You ready?
this is probably gonna overflow.
it's gonna overflow.
Dude, how do you got water like a quart? Go.
Just go. All right, here we go.
Oh, good. That's the bag, man. Come on. He's attacking the bag. Water's gonna come
This
out
is
everywhere,
awesome.
Jeff.
This is awesome.
What the heck?
There's 2 bags.
Man, what a dirty joke.
Come on,
Jared,
man.
Jared,
Come on,
That
man.
on purpose.
I didn't do it. They did
please
it.
tell me you did that on purpose.
I didn't
Just
do
say you did. I don't care if you did. Just say it.
Take credit.
I
Just
didn't.
say I did it.
I'm not doing the fish anymore.
All right,
He almost ate through the bag.
redo.
Jeff,
Here we
ready,
go.
Jeff?
Redo.
This will work, but the water's gonna come out of the aquarium. No, it didn't.
All right, shut the top so he doesn't jump out.
That was awesome, man.
He's overwhelmed.
He doesn't know what to do.
He likes the fast ones first.
Hey, remember that. Mr. Wilson eats the fast ones first. So whenever you're throwing a crankbait, wind it fast when you
He
first
does.
pull up on the school.
He eats the biggest ones and the fastest ones first. Every
Yeah.
time.
There you go. It's just like ledge fishing. Whenever you find a school of bass on the ledge, you always throw the biggest bait you got first. He is eating them up. Look at this.
Remind me to thank Miss Sue for double bagging that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was. Dude, what's wrong with him? He's not that hungry.
He's overwhelmed by numbers.
Yeah, he don't know what to do. It's just like real life scenario. If he's chasing a school of shad, you got to be different. You got to single yourself out for him to chase you.
Look at all the
Like-
scales. They're everywhere.
It's like glitter.
He's filtering.
Looks like a
glitter.
snow globe.
That's right.
Rob
He's probably
Spears-
choking on plastic, dude. He bit into that bag like 6 times. I mean, tried to go through the bag.
All right, my arm's getting tired. We're going back live.
All right, going back live.
Going
Y'all
back
are
live. All right, let's jump into the frog topic.
Frog topic. All right, so we said last week, even though it's December, it's almost Christmas, we are talking about frog fishing tonight. We'll talk about setups. We'll talk about line. We'll
Rods,
talk about
reels.
rods, reels. That's setups.
Well, I know, but I'm explaining.
All right, we'll talk about
The devil's in
different
the details, man. That's
different
what this
styles
show
of
is all
frogs.
about.
So apparently, I kind of got tunnel vision last week, and I got to thinking about frogs, hollow body and stuff like
Right.
that. I thought that's kind of what we were talking about, but we're going to talk about everything.
Well, you told me to make sure I bring some plastic frogs too.
That's that in the air frog, which is kind of cool. It's kind of like the, it's more of a
It's a
stationary
blend.
type.
It's a blend.
Soft plastic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
a blend.
blend. We'll
It's a
talk
blend.
about that.
It's a hybrid frog.
Right.
So, all right. So what
Let's
are you
do
gonna talk
something
about
real
first?
quick before we get to frogs.
What's up?
Let's
Oh,
do
yeah,
that.
by the
Let's
Let's
way.
do
talk
something
about-
real quick
talk
before we
about
get to
nuts.
frogs because this is pretty. Frogs are awesome, but this is also awesome.
So
Maybe
we don't
awesome
we don't know who was responsible for this,
Right
but we
there.
got to give
Look
a big shout out, and I'll show y'all the card. I'm sure y'all can see the card, and I'll read it to you. And it says Merry Christmas. It says on behalf of the LTF audience, thanks to everyone at LTF for taking time out of your busy schedules to give everyone insight and tips. Merry Christmas. That
That is
is
awesome.
pretty awesome because we never got a present from a friend.
We've
from
never
a
got
fan.
a present before. This is our first show present,
That's right, first show present, and
and it
trust
is
me,
much appreciated.
Absolutely.
We'll be breaking into these.
Yes.
By the way, we don't have a show next Tuesday. Y'all probably assume that
Christmas,
because
yeah.
it's Christmas. But we will have a show. Wait, we didn't verify that with Jeff. Just you and I verified that. We'll have a show New Year's Day. Are you here New Year's Day night? New Year's Day night,
January 1.
I'm sure.
as in January 1.
Yes.
Thanks,
I'm
Brian.
sure. But I want to do something cool. I don't know what to do because we can't do everything for everybody for the audience. But what I'm gonna do is let's. I'm gonna send everybody like free decals or something, right? So I'm gonna make a page
That's awesome.
where you can order free decals. Order them. We're gonna cover the shipping, the decals, everything. I'll post a link in the group probably tomorrow. I'll get it up, and we want to send you something. I don't know what else to do. I
A
just
gift
kind of
from the
just thought about
LTF.
it.
Tell them thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a thank you, and it'll be in the private group page. So join that. I'll post a link sometime tomorrow, and we really appreciate it. Thank you for the
that is
support
awesome.
and the nuts. It's awesome.
Yeah, in the nuts. Yeah, Brian, you saw that, Brian. Would you thought that was a sign they just think we're nuts?
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Possibly.
true. I
I mean,
mean,
they're not
dead
far
on.
off.
We are nuts, but we do. I mean, chocolate covered. What'd that say?
There's all kinds.
Covered espresso beans.
There's
Can't
nothing
beat
that can be bad about that.
No, can't beat it with a big stick. So we're gonna move our nuts out of the way here so y'all can see the frogs.
this is
There's
gonna
no
go-
other way to say it. I'm sorry. I mean, I just had to slide the
You
the
didn't
nuts
have to
down
say
the table.
our. You
That-
could have said these or D's. Why didn't you go with D's?
These.
What? You just completely blew it. Matt just completely blew that. So
all right.
let's jump into the frog topic.
Back to the frog fishing. All right. So let's talk about. I got something.
Let's go with setup first.
Okay. All right. You start talking about setup because I got something for them too. I'm going to talk about 5. I narrowed it down to 5 frog modifications, and this is more of the advanced level frog fishing. We'll do
narrowed
that
it
towards
down
the
to
end.
that many.
No, I'm talking about modifications.
All right,
Modifications.
yeah. So not only are you getting which frogs we like, but you're going to get some pretty cool tricks and tweaks that Matt and I do to frogs. I blew his mind. He had a heart attack.
Blew my mind, Matt and I.
Did you
That
just
is
speak?
correct.
Did you just speak proper English?
I want to impress our live audience, Bruce. That's the only reason.
All right.
That's impressive.
Thanks, Kevin. Kevin said, "Oh man, the self-control right now, not to comment. Keep it clean, guys. Keep it clean."
You started it tonight.
I didn't. I was talking about the nuts on the table.
You
I mean,
sta-
I'm just saying. Like, what's wrong?
this is
3
going to be
left.
bad.
No, there's some hiding down in the corner. There's about. He's literally eaten probably 50 by now. Yeah, Wilson's
He's
up to
got a
about 50
belly
fish.
on him now.
All right, setups. Go into setups, Brian. Let's talk
All right,
about
let's
setups.
go into setups.
Rod and reel and line, guys. If you
Rod,
got questions
reel.
about frog fishing, go ahead and start sending them in. I'll be watching the feed while Brian's
I
explaining.
actually brung my frog setup, the rod reel that I use when I frog
He's back.
fish. What's wrong with brung? Should I went with brought?
brung.
Go with whatever you
I
want.
have Broughton.
I brung it. I brung it.
Done.
my
It's
frog
either
setup.
done brung or brought.
I done
Broughton.
Brought.
I think it's done brung.
Done. It ain't done brung.
Hey,
I think it's done
Dung
brung
is like
or
cow
Broughton.
poop, dude.
It's one of the two.
Broughton. I brought him.
I have no idea where
Just
y'all are
continue.
at.
We just
So,
love hearing you talk.
Let me get it.
Frog setup. Oh,
Good
watch the
mess.
window.
Well, at least my guys are fixing the front of my house. They can just replace the window while they're here.
This is my frog setup, Jeff, if you will, with the iPad, please.
It's on you right now.
Arms
Only
down.
on
Here's
you.
the zoom. All right. This is actually a rod I designed for frog fishing from Fitzgerald Rods. It's a 7.2 frog rod. It's a medium heavy action. And the reason I wanted that is I wanted a rod that had a soft enough tip that I could skip it under docks and under laydowns, but it's also got enough power that I can fish mats and grass fish and make super long casts and drive the hook. So again, this is a Fitzgerald Fishing Bryan Thrift Signature Series frog rod, 7.2 medium heavy. The reel I use is a Abu Garcia Revo. I like a 7.3 or the 8.0. I like a high speed reel when I'm frog fishing because I'm making super long casts. And if a fish blows up on my frog, or if I see a fish blow up in a mat somewhere, I want to be able to get that bait in really quickly and get it back out to that fish. So high speed reel. And I even like it in grass. A lot of people like a slower speed reel in grass, so they've got more power to pull the grass and the fish through the mat. But you can still do that with a 7.3 and an 8.0 retrieve reel with this 7.2 Fitzgerald frog rod. As far as line goes, I always use 50-pound P-line TCBX braid. I don't like the 65 as much frog fishing because I want to make as long of a cast as I can when I'm fishing mats and get the bait as far as away from the boat as I can. So I use 50-pound line all the time, whether I'm skipping docks, fishing grass mats, either way. That is my setup. So, Matt, you want to jump in yours?
Yeah, so touch on the line a little bit more. Why you use 50 all the time? Because a lot of people do use 65, and I've heard of people going down to 30 also. But about line, and you're braid 100% of the time, correct?
Yes, I'm braid.
I don't know anybody that uses anything other than braid frog fishing.
I definitely won't braid when I'm frog fishing because when you're frog fishing, I want to set the hook as hard as I can. So, 50-pound braid's what I always stick with, and that's, as I said earlier, I think it's just for casting distance is the main reason I use it, or it may be the first thing I ever tied on a frog 10 years ago, and it worked out good, and I never changed it. So, either way.
All right, so we my feed. I got to get back on my feed here. My setups are very similar. Brian's at a 7.2. I use actually two different frog rods. I use I'm using loose stuff now. The LFS X5 series rods is what I'm using. They have a 7.3 medium heavy and they have a 7.4 heavy. The only time I switch to the 7.4 heavy is when I'm in really, really thick vegetation.
Did you just say medication?
You know what was bad is they still don't know who our special guest is. But when I was looking at him, the word medication came to my mind. So what I meant is really thick.
My God.
I mean, it just rolled. Dude, it didn't.
Flawless,
there was no hesitation.
flawless. Like you knew you were going to say it before you said it.
Really thick medication.
How's that make you feel, bro?
I know I'm special.
Yeah, you are special.
Your mic's on if you want to say something.
You are definitely special. All right, so really thick vegetation is when I actually go to the 7.4 heavy. Now, the 7.3 medium heavy, I utilize it more when I'm skipping docks, fishing open water, skipping up over overhangs, things like that, where I don't have to worry about dragging that fish out of really, really thick cover.
Let's touch on that medium heavy for skipping again.
Right, yeah.
It's just like...
It loads better.
Right, it loads better. Just like I talked about on the episode when we talked about skipping jigs with my jig skipping rod. It's the same thing with the deal me and Matt use with the frog when we're skipping it. You want that soft tip. So if you're looking for a rod for skipping a bait, make sure you look for a softer tip. Matt uses what'd you say yours was, a 7.4 medium heavy?
Well, I use a 7.3 medium heavy and a 7.4 heavy.
Okay, so Matt's using a 7.3 medium heavy. I'm using my 7.2 Fitzgerald medium heavy. So make sure you think about that. And just because, and I'm sure Matt's is the same as the Fitzgerald rod or similar, is the action you want with the way I designed the Fitzgerald rods. You've got that soft tip, but then you get to the backbone quick. But what that soft tip does is it loads it up and lets you skip that bait a lot more accurate and get a lot more distance with it. So keep that in mind when you're skipping anything. But frogs, there you go.
Yeah, if you don't have the tip, you ain't gonna skip. Boom! Killed it. Got it.
Medication.
Yeah, medication. it's for punching that medication. You know?
It might be time
the
to
medication.
check that can. What you got in your can?
What can? It's Wings Etc. I'm actually promoting for my brother's business tonight.
I agree, Ryan. Happy hour must have started earlier today.
Guys, I promise it did not. All right, so let's dive into the frogs. Oh, my line and reel setup same as Brian's. I'm using 50-pound. Well, 100% of the time, I don't know when I've ever used 30 or 65.
Exactly.
And high speed reel, I use an 8-to-1 pretty exclusively, especially when you're walking that frog and you set the hook and you lay up into one, then you better
before we
keep
jump
up with
into
him.
the frogs, I seen a question a while back about. Let me see if I can find it about when you get a bite. When you get a frog bite, how long do you wait before you set the hook? From Michael Cates.
That can be argued, really. And honestly, I mean, it's almost like other topwater fishing. You want to wait till you feel the fish because you'll see them blow up, and a lot of people just react. I mean, and you can't do that. I mean, I don't. I mean, I've heard guys say count to 2, count 2 seconds, count 3 seconds, things like that. But if I see them take it, I'm setting the hook. That's just how I am.
I'm setting the hook.
I mean, I can't wait.
When I
can't
get
count.
when I get a bite on anything, the only time I wait is however long it takes me to drop the rod, take up the slack, and set the hook.
Which is not very long.
Not
if you've
very
ever seen
long.
Thrift set the hook.
Well, you got to think about this. When a fish bites a bait, he's not holding it with his hands. He's got it in his mouth. I mean, he ain't got little hands. He ain't run up there and grabbing it and then saying, "No, I'm gonna eat that." And then
I have never seen. I've seen a lot of videos of fish eating frogs off top of water. I've never seen one go up and like grab his leg and then suck the rest of him in.
No, and it's like that with anything. Like it's so funny when you see people. Like I'm gonna use the old 1980s Carolina rig hook set analogy. Everybody's watched the old Bassmasters. They're dragging their Carolina rig and they get a bite and they wind in slow. They stick their arms way out. And by this time, like 3 or 4 seconds has passed. They're way out here with it. Make sure he's got it good and swallowed so you kill him when you set the hook.
You can rip his guts out, literally.
You don't need to do that. The fish do not have hands. They are eating it with their mouth.
Hey, Brian Clary asked, he said, I've been trying to skip. He said he's not very good at it. And how should he practice? Well, I don't know how long ago that was, but Brian did a full video out here in the yard. And that's how many episodes ago? Maybe 7 or 8 episodes ago.
7 or 8 episodes back.
Brian did a full skipping video on how to skip, tips on how to get started skipping, and tips on how to make you a better skipper.
By the way, I'm pretty sure this is our 50th episode.
Ooh, really?
50th?
I believe.
You know that
already?
for sure?
I'm pretty sure I numbered them all last night.
I think he's guessing.
I kind of reconfigured the podcast and numbered them, and I'm pretty sure the last one was 49. So I'm pretty sure it's 50.
All right, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Mike Harris, that's a good tip. He said on any topwater, I make it a point to never look at my bait and wait for the feel before setting the hook. I mean, that's a good way to get started.
Yeah.
Jesse Stanley said it earlier. He said, when you can't see the frog anymore. I mean, it's like Brian said, they don't have hands. So when a fish eats a frog, he either ate it or he missed it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any in between, or he's too small to get it in his mouth.
Either way, jerking's not going to hurt anything with the frog. And you might end up
Your
with
feelings.
You might get a frog tattoo when it flies out of the water and hits you right here on the love handle of the side. I've had this happen personally before at Lake Dardanelle. It was pretty amazing. You could see the total outline of the frog, the little tentacle legs. I mean, it got me pretty good on the fat roll.
Nice. All right, so Jerry, thanks, Jerry. Ryan said, really, 50 already? That's what I was saying, really? It's been 50 already. Time, it flies when you're having fun, man, I'm telling you.
It does.
Don't forget, guys, hats still available for make a great Christmas present or a stocking stuffer.
LTF hats.
LTF hats. I've got one
here.
on right here. We've got some of these, a few of these, this color. We only got 4 or 5 of this color left in stock.
Literally, I think 4 or 5.
4 or 5. So
That's been the hottest seller this time around.
Yep, guys, be sure to go to letstalkfish.com and get your order in. We are still working on our Classic booth. We hope to be at the Classic. Brian and I will be there regardless, but we hope to have a Let's Talk Fish booth at the Classic.
It's a good possibility that it tripled in size today, so it should be
it's possible.
a pretty awesome booth,
So
and maybe bigger by the end of that.
See, they keep me in the dark.
Well, we're still working. We're still working on the.
Do I still have a job here?
But it's going to be
right now. You do.
If
It's
we
not
can
the
pull it
first
off,
year
it's going to be awesome for sure.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. All right, and we will have gear there too for sale. We'll have hats. We'll have shirts. We'll have all kinds of cool stuff.
Cargo shorts, the whole 9 yards.
Cargo
It's gonna be
signature
awesome.
Bryan Thrift cargo shorts.
Oh yeah,
What I'm talking about.
That was a surprise.
dude, really seriously?
He's excited.
I
Hey.
am excited. I am kind of excited about that.
All right, frogs. Let's go through some different frogs, Brian. Let's
right.
start off with the air frog because
All
that's,
right, well,
that's
that's
totally
the-
kind of in its own category.
Yeah, this is the Demiki air frog. I'm sure most people have heard about it. It's been out for 5 or 6 years now. But this is kind of a blend of a plastic buzzing frog and a hollow belly frog because this frog will float when you stop it, put a 6/0 honor beast hook in it, fits it perfectly. And one thing that's cool about this frog is
A 6/0 beast, unweighted.
yeah, unweighted. What's cool about one of the coolest things about this frog
That's kind of a dumb question, but
is you know how I'm sure a lot of you have thrown buzzing frogs and they tend to ride with upside down. Have you seen this before, Matt?
no,
Like,
I'm not listening to you. I never listen to you.
all right. Well, anyway,
I
with
am
a
now.
lot of other soft plastic frogs, the frogs tend to run upside down. You make a long cast, get the bait back to the boat, and the frog's upside down. This frog will actually right itself. So if it lands upside down in the water, it will flip itself over and run true every time.
Is it because of an air pocket or something?
It's
in it?
because of the air pockets. It acts like a pontoon boat. There's got an air pocket on each side of it, so it's like a pontoon boat.
Sweet. Good
And
way,
it,
good way to
it
describe
rides true every time. So
Adam Foster said he hopes the shorts we have at the Classic are longer than the ones Biffle wears.
What was
I
that?
will
My
not wear
earphones
them if
wrong.
they are
What'd you
not.
say?
Thrift will not wear
I
shorts
will
as
not
short as
wear- I will
Biffle's.
not
I'll
wear
promise you
Biffle
that.
shorts.
Adam said he hopes the shorts that we bring to the Classic are longer than the ones Tommy Biffle wears. Do you know Biffle? Do you know who I'm talking about?
No, but I'm pretty sure they're short.
They're shorts.
And they're
Yeah.
polyester, I think.
They're like shorts that are so short that the
It's my
girls can
favorite.
wear them
They're
to
like
school.
1980s
You know-
baseball
Magnum
coach
PI
shorts.
You know,
shorts?
the rule,
Magnum
the rule,
PI.
Like
The rule
Magnum
they have-
PI?
Magnum PI.
the rule they have now for kids in school, well, girls in school, like middle school and up, like you put your hands down by your side and your fingertips go past your shorts. You got to go home and change. Biffle would never be able to go to school. Just saying. I mean, that's how short they are. Yeah. All right. TJ said the feed is frozen. I hope that's on his end, not our end.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, we're Jeff said that with confidence.
I have
so
no idea.
TJ,
All right,
you may
so
want to
Are we
double
getting
check
back?
your feed.
Let's finish up with the soft plastic frogs because
That's right.
We only brought one example of that.
Go ahead.
So pretty much what you've got, there's two different styles of legs. You've got like the Demiki air frog has got the big paddle leg that gives you kind of a, what would you call it? A gurgling sound. Gives you a nice bubble trail. And
Gurgling sound and a bubble trail.
And then
Sounds good
you've
to me.
got the other styles like horny toad that's got like the ultra vibe style legs that give you more of a subtle kind of sputtering sound. We'll call it sputtering and gurgling. That's what I'm going with, Matt.
Sputtering. And
Are you
gurgling.
paying attention? Because I need you to help me with this.
You're doing your frog. I got my frogs laid out here. I'll go over my
We got
frogs.
to help each other.
Oh, is that why we're here?
Yes, that's why we're here.
Well, somebody's got to read the feed in case something cool comes up. Like, I mean, we got a viewer, Jerry Hepner from Northern Michigan. He's ice fishing up there. You know,
Well, don't
we're talking
throw a
about,
frog.
Yeah, don't throw a frog. I don't think that's going to go very. Yeah, that's not going to work. But thanks for watching from
All
Michigan,
right, so
Jerry.
pretty much that's your two types of soft plastic frogs. And the two I throw mostly, well, the only two I throw are the air frog and a horny toad. I got one with a gurgling action, one with a sputtering action, we'll call it. So that's pretty much my only setups for these. I still throw them on the same rod, that 7.2 Fitzgerald Bryan Thrift Signature Series frog rod. Same reel, same line, same setup as I'll use with a hollow bait.
All right, Todd Gode's got a direct question about that particular frog. Do you ever throw that on a buzz bait?
I do not throw this frog on a buzz bait, and the reason being is it's too big and it creates too much drag.
Okay. All right. Good tip there. Raymond Jones said, you guys' favorite.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about colors.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm going to dive into colors too. So,
Brian Clare says, "Please let me see it get closer."
Get closer
to
with
the
it.
air
Let me
frog.
see what I can do to help.
Here,
with
I'm going
that.
to throw it to you. You ready?
Hang on. No,
Here,
no,
hand
that's
it to
fine.
me.
That's fine.
There we go. You know what's cool also about the Demiki frog?
He's ignoring you, Bruce.
If you look at it head on, can you see it, Jim?
Now I can.
If you look at it head on, it kind of looks like that dragon off of How to Train Your Dragon. Toothless. That's his name.
That is.
Toothless.
There is a close up. I'm assuming that's what you wanted to see, Brian.
There we go.
All right. Got it?
Got it.
All right. So let's get away from the soft plastics. I did see somebody, let's see, who asked that question.
We
Let me
keep
go
getting
back.
some comments about a show freezing, and then we're getting comments say the show's not freezing. So
Yeah, I don't think it's on us, guys.
it's not us this time. That's rare.
It's
but
potential.
awesome.
Usually when
To
it's
be
on
on
us,
us.
though, ours will eventually freeze too, like Brian's feed or
Right,
or
that
mine
is
or-
true.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
Bruce's.
as y'all viewers, me and Matt,
But
Nah.
it should not
see, I'm
be
doing
us.
this on purpose.
There's been a flag thrown.
Dude, get that out of here, bro.
Me and
Bruce
Matt.
been wiping his mouth. With.
You guys, Raymond Jones wants to know our favorite buzz bait to fish any frog on.
I use a homemade, and well, let me rephrase that. I used to use a homemade a lot, and now I kind of use a couple different ones.
I use the accent lure ones, the
Yeah.
one Jacob designed.
Yeah, that's a good one. Who else makes Greenfish makes a good one.
Greenfish makes a good one. Yep.
There's a couple different companies make one. So really, I think they all do pretty
Good hook, good keeper on the wire.
Good keeper on the wire.
The right kind of head design.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's pretty self-explanatory.
there's 4 or 5 good ones out there. There
Yeah.
wasn't 5 years ago. There wasn't any really.
Right.
But now there's 4 or 5 good ones out there. All right, let's jump into different type frogs. We want to touch on any more soft plastic frogs? Any more questions about soft plastic frogs? Let us know.
Yeah.
Um,
Jeff, we did get a comment about can you pull down the microphone stands closest to the camera? I guess and these are blocking the view of this.
Interesting. The moneymaker
Yes.
blocking Brian's face.
No, it's not blocking your face, but
We got a comment about it.
let's see. What
Oh,
we can do.
they're talking about the one that's blocking the frogs. It's that one right there.
Yeah.
They're talking about the one. See right here, Jeff.
Yeah. Let me see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
Move,
can stretch
move,
it.
Bruce.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
How about that?
All right, now they can see the. Now, they can
Perfect.
see
Now
the
scoot your
table.
frogs back closer to y'all's mic
way?
stand.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so obviously one of my sponsors, main sponsors, is Lunker Hunt. Lunker Hunt is known for their frogs. They make a lot of different frogs. I brought 5 different frogs that we offer, and I'm going to start off. These are all hollow bodies. Basically, the original Lunker frog with the kick and leg action right here. This is the pocket frog, same style, but a smaller
Ooh,
version. That's a quarter ounce.
Nice little.
That's a little bitty old booger
tidbit.
there.
I
So
kind of like that.
let me tell you something awesome about the pocket frog. You can literally put 4 or 5 in your pocket, take a spinning rod with 10-pound braid, and go to a pond near
And
you,
just jack 'em.
and just all day long. Now the difference with this little pocket
Studio
frog,
audience, handy drinks.
somebody said, "What's with the little bottle of Sundrop earlier?" So he just refilled. He got more ammo.
See, it's misleading because both are 16 ounces. We got short, fat.
I thought the tall one was
skinny.
20.
No,
Apparently not.
16 ounces. 16 ounces.
Learn something new every day. So back to the pocket frog, the small pocket frog. When you're fishing this frog, you don't set the hook like you do with a regular frog. There's small lighter wire hooks in there that are upturned slightly, which I like to do that to
So
any
it's
of my
more
frogs.
like a pull set versus
Exactly.
a drop
It's
set.
a pull set. That's why you use that braid. Let the braid and the rod do the work and just pull into them. Don't set the hook like He-Man because you're going to straighten those hooks out. Back to the Lunker frog and then the combat frog, which is a 3/4 ounce. It's a larger version of that kick
That
and
is
leg
good.
action frog. 3/4 ounces, that thing will throw an absolute mile. It's
bet it
heavy.
will.
You can feel it there.
Oh yeah, that does have some weight to it.
All right, new part of the prop series, which we also have the prop fish. This is the prop frog, which actually is a combination of a hollow body with the spinning legs on the back, similar to like a plopper and things like that. We added to this frog because we did notice when I was testing it too. I actually threw this thing in the Mississippi River when we were prototyping it.
Why didn't I get more?
It was I literally only had one there.
Okay.
And the
I'll
pickerel
allow-
tore the thing to pieces in practice.
Oh, I bet they did.
But we went to the stinger hook.
Kicking me.
But I'm not kicking you. We went to the stinger hook because of those short strikes, but that definitely helps. And the stinger hook is something you can add to any frog if you're really having problems. I don't like to use one, but I do know guys who add stinger hooks.
Won't you, Jeff? You want to hold the iPad again?
If you're going to use a stinger hook, this is the style you've got to use on any hollow body frog, I think. I mean, I don't think there's another way to really do it unless you hand tie one with braid or
right,
something
that
like
would
that.
be about it.
Jeff, you want
Let's
to show
get a
them that on the
close up of the
iPad?
stinger hook.
Yeah, give us 1 second here, and Jeff's going to show you a close up of this stinger hook. And I think
I've personally never used the stinger hook. Have you used it much, man?
so. No, just on this style frog,
Okay,
not on
just
the
on a-
actual, not on a
like a
regular hollow
buzzing
body.
style
That's
hollow
right.
body.
So that's the stinger hook there. I think the only company that actually sells them in the U.S. that has this harness on them is Lake Fork, if I'm not mistaken. Do you
Okay.
know? You're a tackle expert, Brian. You should know this
I really
question.
don't know because I
Okay.
never use a stinger.
I think tackle. I think Lake Fork is the only one that actually sells that hook in the U.S. We have ours made with the frog. So,
so they don't. Lunker Hunt doesn't sell that separate. That's
no,
packaged.
not the
Okay.
not the harness hook. That might be something we might start offering. No. So we did launch a skirted frog. You know, the one thing we were lacking in our arsenal was a regular skirted frog. And one thing that we talked about, and I'm gonna dive right into it. And Brian, you can add to this. Is the skirted frog that comes from Lunker Hunt in our package is already pre-modified.
Hitting the mic.
It's got the upturned hooks. You can see the upturned hooks there, and it's got the shorter skirt action. Now, I'll give you a tip. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go through 5. This is when it gets a little more informative or a little bit more secretive. I don't know how to
Spill
say
the
it.
beans, man.
We're starting to spill the beans a little bit
Spill
more.
the
Okay,
beans.
frog modifications. And, guys, you can send in messages. Okay, Michael Kate said, yes, that is Lake Fork, by the way, that makes that stinger hook. Send us in messages if y'all got any tips.
Yeah, and questions. You know, we'll pause periodically and answer a random question.
Savage Adam says he's crushed them on that prop frog this year. That's good
There
to
you
hear.
go.
Hey, send us a video or a catch picture or something. If you got anything with that prop frog right there, I'd love to post it on my social media. So shoot it over to me, Adam. Back to the frog modification. So the first one is pretty simple, pretty a common modification.
Which one are you going with? Just the skirt deal?
Changing colors. Just changing colors. I'm just talking about frog fishing in general and giving.
Talking about modifications.
I'm giving 5 tips
You
/
just
modifications.
confused
I'm
myself.
sorry. So first tip is changing colors. Let's talk about colors real quick. I'm sorry.
Excuse myself for
completely
confusing
threw-
myself.
I completely threw him for a loop there. All right.
Well, I'm figuring if Matt is confused myself, he's probably confused most of the fans.
Probably so.
So
All right.
I'm trying to get it out.
Back to the skirt modification because
All
I
right.
don't want to mislead Brian or anybody
All
watching.
right, I've got an example of that right here.
Well, and I'm going to give him a tip while you're getting ready.
Yes,
so
go
when
with
you
it.
trim that skirt, the reason you're doing that is when you're cutting that skirt material down and you're making it more compact. And there's Brian showing you 2 different ones right there. That's
All
the
right, go
Spro
ahead
frog.
with yours. Yours, the Lunker Hut frog comes pre-rigged, ready to
Comes
rock.
pre-trimmed or preset. Now what I do is I'll take those legs and I'll pull it to where not quite that much.
Whoa, Matty.
I'll pull it to where one is slightly longer and one is slightly shorter. Did you know that will make your frog walk even better?
I also know that is a myth.
That is not a myth.
That is a myth.
That is not a myth.
It's all smoke and mirrors.
It's physics. It's physics. Smoke and mirrors. All right.
Smoke and mirrors.
Okay, since I just lied to our audience, or you
I've done it both ways, and it does not matter.
well, now you're a proficient walker now.
I'm
So
professional. I stumble occasionally.
so you have to talk. You have to talk.
Wait, let me make sure mine are the same length. Yeah,
People that are just starting to walk a frog, it's short. They're the same length if you pull them and make them the same length.
My gosh.
But I'm telling you, for somebody that never walked a frog
Rare
before,
form tonight.
if you trim that skirt material up and you make one side slightly longer than the other, it will help you walk that frog. It will, even with more ease. Trust me on this. Brian's wrong. I'm right. We'll continue to agree to disagree.
All right, we're agreeing.
We do that all the time
Well,
anyway.
here's an
We hit
example.
200 viewers off that dumb statement.
Let us know what you think. Is it a myth? Not a myth. Let
Myth
us know
or
in the
not a myth?
comments.
Yeah, let us
Myth,
know.
not a myth.
Matt-
Not a myth.
the-
Not a myth. Anthony Randall said not a myth.
Yeah,
Shane
Shane
said
said
it's a
it
myth.
is a myth.
Let us know.
Anthony Randall said not a myth.
All right.
Oh,
Let us know if it's a
We need
myth
to
or
put
not a myth.
We need to put a poll up on Let's Talk Fish Facebook page, and we'll determine who is correct January 1 at the next show.
I will put
We'll
a
let
poll.
the fans decide, man.
We'll put a
Oh, my
poll.
God. Do
We'll
it,
put a
Mr.
poll in the group,
All right. Yes.
and we'll decide January 1st, and we're going to pick a random winner that votes, and we're going to send you a gift pack.
Only if,
I actually-
only if they vote for what Matt said.
I actually think you're going to win this one, though, Matt. I really do.
Duh. What are you saying? I'm right?
No, but I think everybody's going to agree that you're right.
Maybe I'm just more popular. Is that what
Maybe,
you're saying?
possibly.
All right. Yeah, Thrift could walk a frog in his sleep. That's right, Ryan. Very correct.
All right, so Matt's Lunker Hunt frog comes pre-trimmed. This is an example of a brand new frog, which is this one, versus one that I have trimmed up. So you can see I've cut about probably 1.5 inches or so off that. Sometimes, like it's not exact. I just trim a little bit
Yeah,
off.
there's another extreme there.
Yeah, so the Lunker Hunt frog's even shorter legs.
We actually call that our compact frog.
Yeah, there you go. It is compact. So And this happens to be a bronze-eye frog. So that's probably my favorite.
Josh Perryman, baklava.
Baklava. All right,
You
we're
wear
not diving
dessert
into that
on
again.
your head?
Yeah. All right. Modification number 2, Brian. I'm just going to give them the modification. I'm going to let you explain it, okay?
All right.
You got 2 options. Well, in my opinion. All right, we're talking about adding rattles to
Somebody
a
just
frog.
called you a rookie.
Everybody know how to, everybody, rookie. No
Todd
comment.
Charlieville just called you a rookie.
No comment.
He
No
said
comment.
thrift is right. It's a myth, rookies.
Yes,
Definitely a
sir.
myth.
I will give that a thumbs up.
But myth. Oh, dang, I'm getting more myths now than not.
I think it's going to work out. It's
I've
going to go like whoever wins is going to be less than 2 or 3%.
And we
Like,
have
I
a lot.
think
We
it's
have a
gonna
lot
be
of
close.
experienced viewers. Like all these guys are like
Yes.
hardcore tournament anglers. We got some hammers that are watching. I mean,
Exactly.
these guys can walk a frog too, no problem. I'm just talking about for people that don't do it, that need help doing it.
Like Johnny Davis.
Like Johnny
Johnny.
Davis.
Ooh.
That was cold.
All right.
That's fighting words right
Yeah,
there.
that's fighting
We'll let
words
the
right
poll
there.
decide because we'll let the poll decide.
This is going to a vote. Y'all are going to get the vote, and y'all will determine trimmed identical links or staggered.
All right. Adding rattles. Go, Brian.
Adding rattles.
How
The
do we
only-
do it, and what do you use?
Well, first off, I never use rattles unless I'm fishing grass mats. So
Okay.
if I'm fishing
Good tip.
skipping docks, shade lines,
What if the
under
water's
bushes,
real muddy?
I
You're
still
not
don't
throwing a
use
frog.
rattles. I still don't. No, I've caught frogfish in water you couldn't see, but I want to at least have 8 to 10 inches of
Yeah,
visibility.
I was gonna say about
not,
a foot.
Not terribly dirty. What in the world?
You're no longer allowed in this studio.
banned.
And we had our first and last live studio audience all in the same night.
All right, so go back to the rattles.
All
That
right,
was a good
back
tip.
to the rattles. The only time I use one is when I'm fishing grass mats, and I feel like that lets fish locate it a little better. You know, if the mat's super thick and light's not penetrating, they can hone in on it and are less likely to miss it if you got rattles. And I do not like internal rattles in a frog. I don't want anything that's going to take away from the bite of those hooks. You know, if you're using a long cylinder rattle and you're stuffing it up inside the frog, if it happens to get turned vertical and that fish clamps down on it, he can't squeeze the frog to get any penetration with the hooks. So I never use an internal rattle. And I've got some that I modified that I will gladly show off.
That'll be great. I was wondering if you. I thought Brian was going to say, "I've got some that I've modified that I can't quite show you."
No, that's the reason I brung all
But
this.
we got brought.
We got
Wait, is it
several
brought or
different
brung?
kinds. Brung.
It's brought. Yeah.
It's brungen. It's
Brungen.
done. It's
I'm
done
brungen.
brung. I told you that earlier. It's done brung. Golly, rookies.
All right.
Brung. All right, I got a couple examples here. These are both black frogs. I tend to like the black frog on mats because I feel like it gives you a contrast better, sun.
Yeah, let me
shadow.
stop you right there and let's talk about color real quick because
All right, stop
really,
it.
really, there's a lot of different colors of frogs out there, guys. And this catches the fisherman this side, and these side catch the fish.
Exactly.
Okay, business side, selling side, business
Let
side.
me switch the camera over so you
Selling
can get a
side.
close up of you there.
All right,
I
so-
like that analogy.
Hold them back
man.
up. Hold them
I like
back up.
that.
Well, basically, you have, if you look at the bottom of all these frogs here, we do have yellow bottoms, we have black bottoms, and we have white bottoms. And then we have a natural bottom, which would be more of a brownish
Brownish or
tan,
blackish.
something like that. So you're really only talking about four to five different. Here's one right here.
All right, grab that one.
That's a big one.
That's a big one.
All right, so there, and then there's the black one right there. All right, so this is basically covers it all. I don't have a natural one. Well, yeah, I do. I've got the red here.
Yeah.
But this basically covers all the business side of the frogs that you're going to buy. So you're talking black, yellow, possibly green, mainly white, and then you've got kind of a natural color like a reddish brown.
Yeah, reddish,
tan,
tight
something
brown,
like that.
something like that.
Jeff, why are your eyes getting real big? Your arm hurting?
Have you ever held an iPad out with your arm straight?
You're on
Apparently
a diet
you're in a
anyway,
lot of
so
pain.
this is
Go ahead and put it
helping
back.
you.
We've
No,
already
we're
shown
good.
it.
No, we're good.
Go ahead and put it down.
Dude, I've been working out. We're good.
You need to
Why
get
do I
like
not believe
directly over.
All right, so Brian, I just want to touch on that.
Yeah,
real quick.
that-
Go
Directly
back
over
to
it?
why you use certain colors and when you use them.
I'm the same train of thought as Matt. You know, white belly, a black belly, or a natural color. That's the only three you need. It doesn't matter what the top looks like as long as the bellies are contrasting colors. And I have seen...
But you need all three of those. You need those three.
Right. I've
Hands
got
down.
a good scenario of color making a difference. 3 years ago, I was filming at Clear Lake. It was me, Daniel from Demeke.
Oh,
and Daniel
I thought he was
from...
going to do it again. Me and Daniel.
Well, it was three of us. So
Okay.
I guess I could win.
You're okay. You're okay. We'll let you slide this
All
time.
right. So it was me and the two Daniels. I'm on the front of the boat throwing a green pumpkin air frog. Daniel with Demeke's in the middle of the boat throwing a white air frog. And Corey, excuse me, I said two Daniels, it was Corey. Corey from Tackle Warehouse was in the back of the boat throwing a black Demeke air frog. And Corey caught probably 10 to our 1 behind both of us on the black frog. That's the first time I've ever seen color make a lot of difference, and I learned a lot that day because we were both...
What were the conditions? Watercolor and cloud,
The
sun?
watercolor was fairly clear, 2.5, 3 feet of visibility, sunny, no wind. I was throwing a green pumpkin, Daniel was throwing white, Corey was throwing black, and they were definitely biting the black one better that day. I don't know if it was a day thing or a region of the country, just what they liked that day at Clear Lake, but it was insanely better how much better that black one was that day. So whenever you're frog fishing, if you're not getting bit, change colors up, but just keep the contrast of the bellies different. You know, white, something natural, and black's all you need.
Ryan said, what about a brim pattern when the bluegill are spawning? Well, yeah, absolutely, Ryan, but I mean, we have that pretty well covered. Look at the belly of a brim and tell me what color it is next time.
Yeah, it's not bright yellow.
It's gonna be something similar to that. Might have a little bit of orange on the throat, and then turn into more of a natural white, something
Right.
like that there.
But even the difference between the white and the chartreuse or yellow belly is very, I don't think it's that much when you look at them side by side. If you hold up a yellow frog and a white frog and stare up at it, there's not very much difference in the two.
Have you sat under the water and done that?
No, but every top
I
water...
wouldn't have. It wouldn't surprise me.
No,
Yeah.
every top
You
water
probably have
bait,
been in
You probably
I'm
have.
telling you, every top water bait I've ever thrown, I hold it up where I'm looking, it's not good, into the sun.
Hey,
and seeing
Daniel's
what it
on. He
looks
said he
like.
remembers that day. He's on.
Yes.
He's on.
Daniel, tell him.
Yeah,
It
you
was
can
bad.
do that.
Corey started out in the middle of the boat, and he was, kicking our tail, for lack of a better word. We put him on the back of the boat because me and Daniel didn't believe it. We're like, there's no way that's possible. He's just catching them because he's up here throwing in front of me and in front of Daniel. So we put him in the back of the boat and made sure he didn't get first shot at anything, and he wore us out with a black frog that day. Black air frog.
All right, so I talked about 5 modifications and or tips. We talked about trimming the legs. We talked about adding rattles.
We never did get to the rattles. We didn't even get to show pictures of the rattles.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Because we
Back
got
to the
talking
rattles.
about
All right.
contrasting colors.
Roll on with it, Brian.
All right, Jeff, you got the iPad ready?
Hey, this is some deep stuff here, dude.
This
You
is
better-
deep.
You need it again?
This is like AAA
Please
level
hold.
stuff right here.
I have my earphones on now. It's hard for me to hear you.
All right, so what I was talking about earlier, I hate putting an internal rattle in a hollow belly frog because it probably rarely happens, if ever happens, but there is a slight chance that it can get turned wrong inside that hollow belly, and when that fish bites down on it, keep it from collapsing. So even though it's very minute,
Pretty valuable tip.
Yeah, it's very slim chance that it does happen, but it could happen. And my experience on the water is if it can happen, it's usually going to happen to me. So I need the most advantage I can get.
No, you would hook 2 at a time on a frog.
Well,
That's
that's
I'm what
just
happens
saying.
to you.
So this is a little modification I do as far as adding rattles to a frog. I've got I don't even know what kind of frog this is. I think this is one of Ish's frogs, and this is another spro frog, hollow belly. But you can see, you ready, Jeff? Get the iPad up here.
Let's do it.
He's shaking.
No, I'm good. I just got to
It's
flip
down
it over.
here.
You understand? I'm doing like 72 things over here, and then
We
you're
got
like,
you. We got
"Get
you.
the iPad
Kevin
up."
Clark said Jeff's poor
Are you
bicep.
ready?
I'm good.
All right, what we got? This is the way I add my rattles. So I've got jig rattles, the collars that go on a jig, and just the rattles there. Pull the skirts out of the frogs, stick one end of that inside the hole, super glue it in, and put the rattle on the end. And these rattles come apart, so if you throw one off, there breaks, you can change it out. So I think they sell these at most tackle building companies. It's just a jig rattle. So there you go. You can see, so I just replaced the legs with the rattles. You can listen to it. I don't know. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
All right, and I did the same thing here. I've actually took the rattles off the back, but actually cut a hole in the side and added 2 more rattles. So when I throw that one on a mat, it's going to have 4 rattles instead of 2, be a little bit louder. And plus that gives you more weight when you're fishing grass, because you want that frog just a little bit heavier in grass. So there you go.
All right, that's
and while Jeff's up close on this particular frog, if you'll notice this hole right here that I cut in the top of it. And the reason I did that is not factory, that is Bryan Thrift modification.
All right, is it just me, or does everybody give these kind of tips?
no. Trust me, they don't get this anymore.
I mean, really? Where else can you get this
You're not
stuff?
going to get these.
Let's talk.
And
about
hey, even this is pretty awesome. It gets deeper than this. And
Matt don't even know about this.
there's something else that I'm not even going to mention tonight that I'm got in my back pocket that we're going to let people know about.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. No, I know about it. You know about it.
Is it a gym membership?
Yeah. Why
Right,
you
can
you need it,
everybody
Jeff?
see
iPad shaking
Little
again.
hole right here.
Oh, yeah.
All right, the reason I did that is most frogs, the way they collapse is air's got to be released outside the body of the frog when that fish grabs it. So if the air can come out quick enough when that fish mashes on it to collapse it down, it's gonna be a lot harder, and the frog's not gonna collapse, so you're less likely for your hooks to come out and penetrate. So if you'll cut a little bigger hole in there, especially when you're fishing grass mats and the frog's gonna be out of the water instead of setting below the water level, when that fish bites it, it will actually collapse a lot easier. So, there you go.
Everybody's making fun of me. Matt
You
said,
wanna-
"Do you make one rattle?"
You want
leg
to
longer
catch
than
the other
other?
side of these frogs while my arm is numb, or you want to do it later?
What other side?
Do you need to catch anything on the table?
Oh
or
no,
you're
we're
done?
good. We're good. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I was going to tell them another modification, but we'll save that for a later date because it's getting late, and we'll.
'Cause I can't feel my arm, so you're good for the rest of the night now. You good?
We'll. No, you're good, Jeff. You're
All right,
good.
cool.
You're relieved.
Matt Orschel says, "Do you make one rattle leg longer than the other?"
Yes, I'm going to walk better, man. I'm telling you, it'll walk better. All right. Never seen or heard of this. That's what we like to hear, Josh. That's why we're here. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yes.
That was
a gift from us to you.
Yeah, that was a secret. I mean, that was a big time secret.
Josh Waldron, never seen or heard of this. I love this show. Appreciate it, Josh.
Absolutely.
Bryant Clary, hands down the best show ever. Thank you very much.
James Wiley said the frogs get hung up easy. James, if you're getting hung up with any of these frogs that we've gone over tonight, you got something's going on. Got a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get hung
you threw it up in a
occasionally,
tree.
but
Well,
yeah,
what?
usually it's not the hooks. Like
Yeah,
if you're
it's a
fishing,
bad cast.
if you're fishing wood, it is possible for your line to get wedged down in a crack in the wood or something.
I'm talking
like
about the
that.
actual frog.
Yeah,
I'm
the
sorry.
actual
Yeah.
hooks.
All right. Oh, I did see a question earlier, so we haven't touched on a popping frog. Lunker Hunt does have a popping
I
frog.
got some examples.
It is the kicking leg style, but we do have it in a popping version also. So when, Brian,
When?
do you choose a popping frog over a skirted frog? I'll tell you real quick, a quick tip for me when I'm fishing grass mats and lily pads, things like that, and I really hear a lot of bluegill going to town, and you hear that popping a
Yeah.
lot. That's when I'll switch over to popping frog 100% of the time. Other than that, if I'm fishing bluegill beds and there's just a ton of bluegill around and there are a lot of them, they're up there sucking those bugs off top of water and things like that, I will go to a popping frog then. What about you, Brian? Any other situation where you go to a
same
popping
situation, and another situation I'll use a popping frog over just a traditional walking type frog is if I'm trying to call them up out of deeper water. Say if I'm
frog? Maybe under docks and stuff.
Yeah, if you're under docks or, throwing it down banks, just bare banks with brush that maybe you've got flooded bushes or something like that have got 6-7 feet of water. I want something that's going to make a little more noise in case those fish aren't close to the surface. If they're suspended 4 or 5 feet down in a flooded bush, that they'll be able to hear it and come up and get it. So that's pretty much the only reason I'll throw a popping frog.
Getting a lot of comments that people are saying that was the coolest tip they've ever seen. Anthony said he just wants to start frog fishing really bad right now. Rick Moore said you guys are killing it, and Jeff needs an Academy Award. I don't know about the Academy Award part.
Thanks,
but,
Rick.
Dwayne George said first time I've ever seen the show. He said he's been missing out. Tell everybody, Dwayne. That's what we want people to know. We want people to know that we give up the goods here. We don't mess around. We do. That's what we're here for. We're here to learn from y'all and for y'all to learn from us.
Exactly.
Let's see. I hear there is an award show coming up for podcasts. Josh White said this one needs to be nominated and voted for.
Ooh, that'd be
Interesting.
awesome.
Yeah, we hadn't
I
been,
didn't know this
around
was-
as a podcast very long, but I don't know how to nominate.
Here's the thing.
Y'all nominate us.
Yeah, that'd be great. But we're going to really somebody made some YouTube comments before.
Oh, yeah, I
Like
meant to address
in
those.
2019, it's going to be completely different. We're going to take it to the next level. The podcast, too, is going to the next level. It's going to be awesome. So just stay with us. Stick with us. It's going to be sweet.
The sound equipment upgrade was just a little bitty drop in the bucket on what's in store for the future. So and all of it's for y'all. All right. Follow up baits. Good question. Kevin Clark said, "I know it's talking about frog fishing tonight, but follow up baits." So,
There's only one.
it's got to be. Well, I know what you're going to say. Some kind of soft plastic stick bait. I use a Lunker stick. He is the
Demicky Stinger.
Demicky Stinger
Of the 4-inch variety.
I have seen some guys use some soft plastic jerk baits and things like that, flukes and things like that.
A bait like an armor shad or fluke, some kind of shad type soft jerk bait.
That's right.
Is a good follow up. Also, I mean, believe it or not, the frog is a good follow up for itself. I mean, a lot of times if they hit it, they're already kind of mad and they're going to want to eat it. They
That's
may
right.
have just missed it.
That's right.
So always give them another shot with the frog.
Agree, 100%. Let's see.
Bruce is looking at me funny.
Anthony asked me how the duck hunt was. I have not been on it. I'm actually going duck hunting for the first time in like 3 years over Christmas with some college buddies of mine. So I'm looking forward to duck hunting.
Where are you going? North Carolina?
No, North Carolina. Yeah,
Gotcha.
North Carolina coast down towards the Potomac. I mean, not the Potomac. The Pamlico Sound. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, the Potomac. All right, let's see, Matt. That's what we like to hear. Said your show makes me look forward to Tuesday nights. What time we got, Brian?
We got 7:58, but we still got a lot of frog to talk about.
You got like 3 boxes of
I got
frogs. to
3
talk about.
boxes.
All right,
And you know what?
Dive into your frogs, dude.
I'm good to go a little late tonight because.
Write that down.
Whoa.
Stop the press.
Is this because we have a live studio on it? Bruce is bringing out the best in thrift.
Wiley does not have school tomorrow. Today
True.
was his last day of school
True.
Oh,
for
really?
Christmas break. So
Reese
I
has
don't
got
have to
school.
rush home.
And let's don't forget to talk about Thursday, what we're doing there with the kids. That's going to be
Tell
pretty
him,
awesome.
Jeff.
Yeah,
Let him
tell
know
us,
now.
Jeff.
Well, let's just do it now. You want to do it now? All right,
Do
so
it. Yeah.
at the last Southern Redfish Cup event, we had we raffled off some stuff to raise some money. We always do it in our December event to do something for the holidays. We did Toys for Tots a few years and things like that. We picked a few families in Shelby this year, and Let's Talk Fish matched the donations. I think it was Wyatt Clark, TJ Gaskin, Joel Levine. They all pitched in some money. So we raised
Thanks,
$400.
guys. That's awesome.
Yep. So LTF, Brian and Matt, we agreed we're going to match the rest, and I'm going to throw in some more. We're going to even it to $1,000, and I think we got 6 or 8 kids around Shelby that have been nominated and made aware of. So we're going to take the kids. I think Reese is going, Wiley's going,
Wiley's going.
my kids are going.
Yep.
They're going to go by Christmas.
We're gonna.
They're going to go shop.
Absolutely.
We're going to let the kids do the shopping.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And
Because
For the other
who
kids.
knows what
Yeah.
a kid wants better than a kid?
That's right.
yep. So
That's right.
it's going to be awesome. We're going to do that Thursday morning.
That
I'm sure
is
we're going to.
awesome.
You got all the details on the kids, right?
We got the detail.
Okay.
We got the details of everything.
Age and all that
Absolutely. We'll video it, shoot some footage, and let everybody know what's going on. But
So I did that for our church does the same type thing, and I went and pulled a card, and there wasn't many left, so I didn't have a lot of options, and I went and did the shopping. I was by myself, and the card I pulled was a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
So I went into Walmart, and
But it's good
Part-
practice for you.
part of the gift package was you spend $40 or $50 or whatever it was on clothing,
Right.
and so you should have seen my cart. What all I had in there when I checked out.
we did it. I think
What does a 37-year-old man look like pushing a cart full of? Anyway, what are you saying, Jeff?
Most people were surprised you didn't have normal.
But hey, I thought I did a good job. I mean,
You did a great
I think
job.
I got her some stuff
You
that
did a
she's going to
great
enjoy,
job.
and she's going to have Christmas. I'm
Yes.
absolutely.
Helping others. That's what Christmas is.
That's
about.
right. A lot of kids. This
Anthony
Christmas
Rents this video of them shopping and posted it. We definitely will. I made a video a couple years ago. We did. I think maybe last year.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
was
we're
fun.
gonna do some footage of it.
We'll do some.
We'll
filming
definitely. We'll do it.
Thursday.
It's not gonna probably be live. We'll post it.
We might go live for a little bit.
We
Walmart
definitely
runs
will
us
go
out.
live for a second, but the whole video is gonna have to be
Got you.
because I can't imagine trying to get all these kids running through Walmart shopping
Lord.
live.
That'd be a nightmare.
We're gonna need a little post production on that.
Yes.
I'm
Gonna have
just
to do some
guessing.
fancy editing.
Yeah, we can get a little bit of it. All right. So what else are we talking about on frogs, Brian? What do you got?
Let's talk about another shape of frog that's kind of caught on
Did you show them the popping frog earlier, by the way?
I will. I got them
Just
right here.
just throw out a popping frog so they can see the difference. I know most of y'all are familiar with the popping frogs, but that way you can see the
All right,
difference in the
here are
bodies.
2 popping frogs. We got a spro frog, and I think this is a evergreen. So I will lay these on the table. Let Jeff get a. Really, they're kind of self-explanatory. I mean,
You're
everybody
gonna
knows
make him
what-
iPad it again.
Nah, everybody
No, I'm
knows.
gonna put it. It's right on you, so you just hold them out.
Done. Yeah. So just 2 popping frogs. Really, it's self-explanatory. One does not outperform the other. As long as it pops, it's got a good hook in it. Colors are what you're looking for. It's pretty self-explanatory on a popping frog.
If it pops, the rod drops.
That's exactly right, Bruce. All right,
That is
let's
the
go
best.
There he
to,
comes.
Best tip of the night.
Another style is kind of like I call it like a shad style bait. It's it's a walking frog bait, but it looks more like a shad to me. And I've got one right here. This is actually a Molex bait. It's just a little bit cigar shaped. Looks more like a shad. Walks really easy. So this just a different
Looks like
style.
a rat. Yeah, it looks like a rat. A little bit.
All right, it's a rat. Rat, shad, either way. So, and I guess that's about it. It's just that other body style. I mean, what else you got? Let me see what else I got in here.
All right, so while Brian's doing that, let's see. Strap GoPros to them in Walmart. That'd be pretty funny to put GoPros on the kids.
It'd be
Let
like
them wear
a
chesties.
flash,
I think
like
I
it'd be
have.
a blur.
That would be
Trying to
pretty
think.
awesome.
Maybe 2 years ago, GoPro.
Sonny Smith, he said, let's see. Brad, thanks for watching, man. He said, what's happening, fellas? Just got off work here in California. We appreciate you tuning in, Brad. What's the topic for the New Year's Day going to be? Needs to be epic. Sonny, let us know, man. We're taking ideas now. Send us a message. Let us know what y'all want to hear about. But we agree it needs to be. We got to
'cause
crank up
that's
the
like-
New Year. We might do a
It's
little bit of
cranking
Sam.
up a New Year, and it's New Year's.
Yeah, Brian's going to be leaving 3 days after that to go to
Yeah,
Sam Rayburn
go
for the
to
first
Rayburn.
FLW tour event. I won't leave for another month. We have a couple shows that we're doing in January. Somebody did ask earlier when you were going to be at Renegade Marine. Do you remember what those dates were?
I can tell you right quick. Let me check
All right,
my
so
emails.
Brian's going to look that up. But Sonny, yeah, all you guys and gals, let us know if there's an epic topic that y'all want to talk about. Let's do it. We're all about it. So we're here for y'all. Scrolling down, let's see.
I
Tyler,
will be at Renegade Marine February 16th and 17th.
15th, 16th
16th and
of
17th.
February?
Of February.
Of February, okay.
February 16th and 17th.
All right, cool. Casey Graham said electronics. Well, that's a potential. That's a potential new topic. Tournament practice strategies.
I thought we talked about it. Have we done? We not done a show on electronics?
We
Somewhat.
electronics,
We've
probably
done-
4 or 5 different shows.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we,
I mean,
we
we
touched
kinda-
on them. We didn't just
Not a
do
specific show
Right.
on it.
Let's see. Jeff Davis said he'll be there at Rayburn. That's cool. Pre-spawn show with a map of a lake.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
That's nice, Jesse. I like that.
I
yeah,
like
that's from
that.
Jesse Stanley. He said a
Let's
pre-spawn
do that.
show with a map of the lake. It'd be cool if we could pull up.
We could
Do you want me just to print a big map to have at the end of the table there?
Yeah, that something they can see.
With dry erase so you can make some notes and draw
Ooh,
them
that's a good
arrows
idea.
and circles
That's
and
fancy.
I
like
know
it.
we keep him around.
Things
for
like
something.
that.
That's
That's
fancy.
what I'm talking about.
But we need
just
two.
a shot in the dark.
We need 2 though.
No problem.
Because we want one with a grass lake, and then we need one with a highland type rocky bottom lake.
How valuable would it
Or you
be?
could get one with all of the above.
What's the value if we were to break down pretty much every lake in that same manner?
Every lake.
Would that
in
be
the
something cool to put in the
Every
member?
lake in the continental 48.
Would that be
Michael
something
Cates.
cool to put on the membership site?
What's that?
Break down like tons of lakes in that same
Oh yeah,
fashion.
so I know we've talked about that in the group, guys. If you're not a member of the closed group, you're missing out. Well, we talked about this. We will be launching a new membership site sometime in 2019. We don't have all the details yet, but we are going to be offering some very exclusive content on that. And Jeff touched on a good subject there. We may actually take specific lakes, really mark them up, give some insight on why. I mean, not necessarily dropping waypoints, because I don't ever think that's a great idea to try to
No.
tell somebody certain things like that. It can actually misdirect you more than it can direct you. So, but we can give a lot of really really good tips on how to break down a new body of water. And some existing bodies of water that
I thought
you,
that's
our
what we
fans-
did on the show.
We do that, but I can't do nothing with him, Jeff.
I'm talking,
I don't
I'm talking about like 50 lakes. I'm talking about like in depth.
We're not talking about a 1 hour just chit
like.
chat.
There's 2 rocks on this point and stuff like
Not
that.
necessarily. I mean,
I mean,
You're getting ready to lose your job. He didn't know. He asked earlier.
we'll let you know when to
Okay,
show up.
keep
Don't
me-
worry about
keep
it.
me informed.
We'll
Let
let
me
you know
know.
when to be here.
Let's see. Breakdown Santee
Oh,
Cooper.
that's a good
There we
idea.
go.
Shane Dowdy asks, a lake y'all haven't fished much.
We can pick a lake that neither one of us have ever fished.
And yeah, I think that's a good idea.
That would be good. All right, so let's see. Water temperature to start thawing a frog. Oh, that reminds me, Ruben, thank you for reminding me. I did have another question earlier we didn't get touch on. You were rattling on about something. Frog something. I wasn't listening.
There we go.
Never listened. But anyway, he said
All right.
he said water
Matt's just getting me
temperatures
back. I'll
temperatures to start thawing a frog, but instead of talking about a water temp, let's talk about the best times of year and when we start thawing a frog. Not necessarily exactly what the water temps are, because that varies a little bit.
Right.
Especially like, Florida and things like that. But let's talk about best times of year to thaw a frog.
My favorite time to throw
let Brian
it is
start.
postpone. My absolute favorite time is postpone. When brim are bedding, the brim are up shallow. When you look under a dock and you see a bunch of brim under the walkway, that's my favorite time to throw a frog.
All right, I'm agree with that. I'm gonna go, but I'll back it up a little bit to when they start garden fry real heavy. I think when they're garden fried, depending on the type of cover that's available, if you're having to skip it way up under overhangs, or you're in grass lakes where they're garden fry around really thick grass patches or edges of vegetation, I think from the time they start garden fry all the way through August, you can catch them on a frog, even September,
right.
Sometimes October, depending on where you live. But that May, June time of year, I'd say
I think that's the peak.
Primarily the best.
Yeah.
Florida, totally different world down there.
I
pretty
think
much get a frog bite 12 months out of the year down there,
Yeah.
I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you a question in the studio. You told me when you start. When do you stop? You said through September.
Yeah, you'll
Well,
get
that's
it.
when you stop.
Yeah. I would say sometime, around here.
Judge water temperature?
Yeah, in the southeast, not necessarily water temp. It's going to get to a certain point.
It's
where
more
they're not
about when the majority of the fish are no longer shallow. That's kind of
and there's a line to me in the fall, and I think Brian will agree. I never know with Brian; he may not agree with me, but where we transition, it more like late summer, where we transition to really concentrate on different types
Right.
of top
When
waters
fish
as
start-
opposed to frogs.
because fish they kind of tend to get off of bluegill and start getting on shad more in the fall.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. So
There you go.
Ryan said break down Kissimmee. That's a possibility too. Let's see. Rooster Cogburn. He said he may have missed it, but when you were talking about cutting holes in the top of all your frogs, or just certain
No,
ones?
I do not do it in all my frogs. I just do a couple that I've got just for throwing on grass mats, where you're fishing a mat of grass and the frog's not setting in open water where it's the hole could possibly be below the water line. So.
All right. Anything else in your box you want to touch on before we get to
I
our
think
trivia
we've
question?
pretty much touched on everything. That's just different colors like what we talked about, and that's more of the same. It's got some of Matt's Lunker Hunt frogs, that's my rattling Matt frogs, and then those are the other popping frogs and stuff. So I think we covered it.
Clarence Belcher responded to that question that Bruce asked
I was getting ready to
in
say
exactly
the same
the way
thing.
Bryan Thrift would normally respond when they stop biting it.
Exactly.
All right, so guys, that's all the time we got for tonight, but we do have a trivia question.
And
Now,
don't forget, we're going to drop the poll in the group,
Yeah.
Yes.
whether it's
Winner
myth
will
or
be
not.
determined January 1.
so we're going to drop that, and also I'm going to drop a link for free decals. We're going to send them out as a thank you from our
Fans.
nuts here, from the fans that y'all sent
Yes.
somebody, so we appreciate it.
we do have a trivia question. Y'all don't
Yeah,
jump off yet.
don't jump off yet.
We're
got
going
the
to we'll
membership
post that in the
giveaway.
group. So what's the question?
Are we? All right, Jeff's determined the winner. Matt's
determines
asking
the
the
winner based on
questions
his
like
feedback.
always.
We got a new. We're gonna do something tonight. Do something a little different. Do something a little special. So
Give me my.
we're gonna let
Give my frogs back.
whoever wins decide if they want a BASS membership or an FLW membership. Your choice.
Oh, I didn't even know we were doing that.
We already
got
have an
this.
answer. Ernie Wallace already has an answer.
Don't you worry, Jimmy Houston. One day, Ernie, the answer will be Jimmy Houston. I promise. One day, the answer will be Jimmy Houston. But that's probably gonna be the night that Ernie didn't get on because he was out working to keep people's power.
John Long says 112. That's close. That's actually is close.
The,
All right.
The no answers are accepted.
Hey,
until
I
the
gotta
question is
give
asked.
credit where credit's due. Our trivia question tonight came from Bruce, our in studio audience. Should I say in studio audience? Or
Yes,
just,
because we're in the
it's
studio.
one
and
person
this
though.
is- What's the
Our in studio.
What's the singular form of audience?
Audient?
Jeff Davis is asking. Jeff Davis asking a quick question. How do I get to the private group? It's if you just go to our Let's Talk Fish page, which you're on right now. It's up at the top. It should be a
Still
pinned
a myth.
should be a pinned post, or you can just search Let's Talk Fish under groups, and it will pop up.
That's not
There
the
you go.
answer.
And I also dropped a link,
Planets.
I believe, in the feed earlier. So
Drop the link again, right quick.
there's 3 different ways.
Yeah, drop a link again, Jeff. Do something. All right, thanks. All right, appreciate it. Here's the question, guys. Y'all ready? We need an answer. What
Dropped.
2 states is the largemouth bass considered that state's freshwater fish? Which
The
2
state
states?
game
Oh, you
fish.
don't know the answer, Jeff?
Yeah, I
you
do.
need the answers, huh? You
I
need the
do.
answers?
No, I do know the answers.
All right, we're looking for 2 state names.
Yes.
What 2 states is the largemouth bass that state's freshwater fish? Recognizes that state's freshwater fish. And you let us know. You send us a message and let us know if you want a. He said, not a myth, Matt. Is a myth. I heard is a myth, not a myth. That's
Myth.
not the answer to the trivia question, but I
No.
like it. All
But
right.
please go on there and vote so we can determine a winner. Just
So
for
Brian
me and
can rub
Matt's
it in my
satisfaction. You know, I mean,
What'd you say?
me and Matt. If Matt wins, I'll concede victory to him. I will tell him. I was like,
Never
Matt,
concede victory.
you're the
I have a
greatest
winner.
frog fisherman of all
You
time.
already have a winner?
I have a winner.
Who is it?
Daniel Rouse.
That's
Oh,
the winner on my
perfect.
feed too. All right, congrats, Daniel. Appreciate you watching. Appreciate you, man. It was like the third.
That was
answer,
quick.
second
that
answer.
was quick.
That was quick.
All right.
was
So
quick.
the answer was because I usually forget to do this.
So where do you live, Daniel? Florida or Alabama? It's got to be one of them.
Yeah, the answer was Florida and Alabama. That is the correct answer. So, Daniel, congrats. Send us a message on our Facebook page. Don't forget. Let us know if you want a BASS membership. I need some information from you. If you want an FLW membership, we'll pass on a code to you to redeem that online. So let us know what you want. Anything else, Brian? We covered everything frog fishing tonight?
I think we've covered, a lot more than I really wanted to, but that's what this show's all
That's what I'm
about.
talking about.
And Daniel, we're going to send you a hat because it's the season. You're going to get a hat too. So thanks for the answer.
All right,
Pick
there
out
you
a
go.
hat.
All right, so
That's-
yeah, we'll send him a hat. So
Nicely
Daniel,
done, Jeff.
congrats again. You're getting a hat and a membership to which either tour of your choice.
Right.
All right, so next week no show.
But vote. Myth or not a myth.
Vote.
I'm serious about this. We got to
I'm gonna have
determine
to
a winner.
sponsor a page just to
No, don't
pay
buy
people to
votes.
vote
Don't
for
be
Matt.
like the people in Florida and in Georgia. Don't try to buy votes.
Huh?
What?
Jeff's doing sign language over there.
What?
Oh, good idea.
What?
Give me that.
I didn't want to give one of y'all's frogs
Is this
away.
for Daniel?
This is for Daniel.
Daniel's getting all kinds of goodies.
Then it's the Christmas season.
Daniel's
And,
getting all
and
kinds of goodies.
just because of this right here,
Daniel's getting all kinds of goodies. So he's going to get a signed Lunker frog.
And a signed pack of air frogs that Bruce was going to get, but I took them back from him.
So Daniel, you're also going to get a signed Lunker Hunt frog.
give
That's the
Bruce more of
compact skirted frog, and it's got my signature on the bottom. I hope that doesn't affect your actually your. You think that'll probably think it'll catch more or less fish?
That's
Brian?
going to catch way more. It's got your name on it.
way more, and
Way
Bruce
more.
says less. But Thrift actually is on my side.
I'm on
for
your
one
side.
time in my life. He's on my side. So you're getting a signed Lunker Hunt frog.
The only reason
you're
it's
getting
going
a,
to catch more is because they can't tell what it says.
We'll get a closer look and see what it says.
Yeah.
I put bite here. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So you're getting what do they
Let-
get?
let me borrow it.
What's Daniel getting from you?
A pack of Bryan Thrift Signature Series black air frogs. Guaranteed to catch every bass in Clear
All right,
Lake.
a signed pack of air frogs, Demiki air frogs, guaranteed to catch every bass.
that's pretty awesome. That was a great idea,
Yeah.
Matt.
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah. All right. So, guys, thanks for watching. Merry Christmas to each and every one of you and your families. Remember, Jesus is the reason for the season. We will be going shopping this Thursday. Thursday, right, Jeff?
Thursday, right after IHOP.
After IHOP. Yeah, we're all
Going
meeting
to
at IHOP. You going to IHOP with us?
Yes.
All right. Bruce, you going to IHOP?
Sure.
We're going to IHOP Thursday morning for breakfast before we go do some shopping.
How early though?
like 9 o'clock.
Does
We actually,
Chin's
I
not
need
serve
you.
breakfast?
No, it's like 8:30, dude. Chins don't serve breakfast.
Can you make it? Because
I can make 9.
all right,
What?
good. I need you
What-
to
what
hold
do
the
you mean?
camera. I need you to hold the camera for a minute.
Ooh,
What's
we
wrong?
need a cameraman.
What's wrong with 8:30? Oh, 9 at Walmart, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
9,
8:30.
at Walmart.
You're not going to leave me out of eating, right?
No, we just need you for the camera.
This is coming from the same person who showed up at lunch and had already eaten and left us hanging. We're going to wait on
I may have
you.
something to do Thursday.
We'll wait on you.
No, you don't.
Oh, I'm going.
Yeah,
So
you
you're
got
not
something
gonna
to
go.
do.
Is that it?
All right.
I may do that. Allie just said no.
What?
Thursday morning?
We have no show next Tuesday. Merry Christmas to everybody. We will see y'all New Year's Day. We're going to have a special episode. We're going to have some really cool stuff in store for 2019. Guys, thanks so much for watching.
Thank you, guys.
And we'll see y'all.
Merry Christmas.
And Happy New Year, because we won't see them until New Year's Day.
Exactly.
Yep. See you soon.
Don't forget to vote for the frog.
Yeah, we'll post it in the group here in a minute. See you guys. Have a good one.